Hello and welcome or welcome back to Meditations for the Racial Justice Journey. Thanks for being with me today. I'm Janet Thompson Jackson, and this is your rest stop. This is a place just to refresh and to receive on this marathon that we're on to bring racial justice to our country, true racial justice. And today, the theme of the meditation is actually on receiving. Now, I bet everyone has heard the saying, it is better to give than to receive. You probably grew up with that saying. And if that resonates with you, you may feel that you've kind of perfected the giving part, but not necessarily the receiving part, because the emphasis is always so much on the giving, that we should be givers, that we're givers, givers are good. And givers are good. But we need to focus on the receiving end too. Sometimes it just is easier to give, right? It makes us feel good. And there's something about being the one to give. And I think that maybe our control, our need for control is a part of that. But you know, what happens when we're the receiver? Well, usually a couple of things, and I've been in this space too. Someone gives you a compliment, and either you compliment them right back, or you somehow deflect the compliment. And then, someone says thank you. Oh, no, thank you. The other person says no, thank you. I'm actually on a one-person campaign to bring back you're welcome, but I digress. What else do we do when we're the receiver? We get a gift. Well, we want to then give a gift in return. Or we say or think, I don't deserve that. Or, oh, you shouldn't have done that. Does that sound familiar? If someone does a favor for us, we may feel like now we owe them a favor. It's got to be a quid pro quo. So why is it so difficult to be a receiver, to be on the receiving end? Well, one, I think it goes back to the saying, our orientation is toward giving, is being the giver. And so even though when we know that the appropriate response is just to say thank you, we have been conditioned that we need to go beyond that. We need to do something in return. We need to somehow qualify or condition our thanks. I think the other thing is what I mentioned, and that is, I think that giving keeps us in the position of control. And the opposite of that is that we sometimes feel vulnerable when we're on the receiving end. And we are not necessarily comfortable feeling vulnerable. I think that a lot of times we feel like we're a burden if we're on the receiving end. Someone's doing something for us. Oh, we're burdening someone. And, that comes into play. But I think that a lot of times it does come back to we just don't feel necessarily deserving of this compliment or of this gift or of this favor. We so many times don't value ourselves. And so we kind of push back. We resist someone valuing us or complimenting us or just giving us that attention. But I think that it's really important for receiving, for the lesson of receiving, the emphasis on receiving to be a part of our mindfulness practice. And that for a couple of reasons. One, I think that as we receive, we are affirming the giver, we're affirming ourselves as the receiver, and we're affirming the gift. And in some cultures, giving and receiving, it's not transactional. The gift, the giver, and the giver, the receiver, and the gift are seen as one. There is an interdependence between the giver, the receiver, and the gift. So the kind of transactional arrangement that we so often put on giving in this culture really isn't there. And I think that there's a beauty in that. So I want to focus today on receiving and getting comfortable with receiving. and really kind of living into this idea that there's this interdependence between the giver, the receiver, and the gift, whatever that gift is, whether it's a compliment, whether it's an actual tangible gift, whether it's a favor that you're doing someone. So let's get settled in and just start to relax a little bit. Whatever sound you're hearing, whether it's rain coming down, thunder, or anything in the background, just allow it to be kind of in the background of your meditation, in the background of your thoughts. Again, not attaching to those sounds, just allowing them to kind of zooming out and allowing them to be there in the background. And as you do that, closing your eyes or lowering your gaze, whatever is more comfortable for you. And just settling into your breath, knowing that you're breathing in, knowing that you're breathing out. Feeling that breath as you relax your eyes, all the little tension in your eyes as we scrunch our eyes up sometimes. See if you can just soften that. Soften your cheeks, soften your jaw. See if you can just hold your head in that perfect spot where it feels effortless. Allow your shoulders just to relax. Even saying that for me just brings relaxation to my shoulders. That's where I hold my tension. And just reminding myself to bring my shoulders away from my ears just does me a world of good. Allow yourself to just feel supported in your seat and for your feet to be in that comfortable position that allow your thighs and your legs to just completely relax. And just breathing into this, just relaxing. Giving yourself permission to be here right now, to put other things aside, and to just give your attention to this time, to receive this gift of self-care. Let's take a nice deep breath in from the belly, through our nose, all the way up into our lungs, and out through the mouth. Just letting some of that tension out, letting something go that's not serving you right now. Let's do that one more time. Nice deep breath in. Just letting it out. And now I'd like you just to focus your mind. I invite you to focus your mind on just receiving. And I'm going to say some words, some affirmations that I'd like you to think about, to receive for yourself. You might even bring to mind a situation, a time when you have received or you're going to receive something. And you want to bring yourself to that space of being able to just receive without condition, without qualification. Just be fully in the mode of receiving. And think about these words. As I give, I receive. As I receive, I give. The more I hold myself with love and affection, the more I am able to receive from others. I give and receive with joy. I am open to receiving in unexpected ways. I welcome the kindness and generosity of others. I give myself permission to receive compliments and favors with a heartfelt and simple thank you. I am enough just as I am, and my heart is open to receiving. Just let those words settle in. Allow your heart to be open to receiving what comes to you today. Maybe you can do that without resistance. And sometimes we think that something that is coming to us is, we put some judgment on it immediately. Oh, that's not for me. That's not good. And sometimes it is for us. We just have that resistance. And I know from my own experience, sometimes something that looks like it's not what I want or need is exactly what I need. And I've been glad at times that I've had a heart to receive something that I wasn't quite sure was what I needed. We have that inner knowing, that inner discerning that comes into play. Allow that to be present as well. What does it look like for you to receive? To be able to freely receive and to see the giver, you as the receiver, and the gift as one, as interdependent. How does that feel? What happens if you release resistance to that? As I give, I receive. As I receive, I give. The more I hold myself with love and affection, the more I am able to receive from others. I give and receive with joy. I am open to receiving in unexpected ways. I welcome the kindness and generosity of others. I give myself permission to receive compliments and favors with a heartfelt and simple thank you. Just notice the breath as you think about those words, as you open your heart to receiving, as you embrace the interdependence of giving, receiving, and the gift. And maybe taking one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, release any resistance that you may have to receiving freely. And now Slowly bringing your attention back to this space, moving your ankles and your wrists and your fingers, moving your shoulders, slowly, gently opening your eyes, bringing your attention back to this space. Thank you for being with me today. I am so happy you are here, and I receive the gift of your presence. I receive it fully, unconditionally, without qualification. Just thank you. I hope you'll join me again. And until then, be well.